Oh, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go. I get me a goddamn Excalibur. Christ, I mean, who actually thought about Ice Godzilla being something? Honestly. Oh, hello. Sorry there, I was just taking a break and playing some Pokemon Go. Welcome back, and we're looking at Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We're finally going to do the third film, which is also a massive fan favorite. And how the hell am I holding this thing? It wasn't in the previous shot before. That's right, I had to do a title sequence earlier. Yeah, I got a title sequence now. So, what's the movie about? Freddy's going after kids inside of an insane asylum, amongst all things, being led by a Dr. Gordon. Yes, a Dr. Neil Gordon, played by Craig Watson. And there's more to it. Guess who's back? Nancy is back. Yes, this time she's a student psychologist actually helping out the doctor and helping these students out. Yep, helping out all the kids. There's the kids like well, let's see. We have Roland Kincaid, Kristen Parker, who has a unique ability, Taryn White, Philip Anderson, Will Stanton, and Jennifer, who has a very iconic death in the movie. Okay, to be fair, I kind of forgot the names real quick, so I have the IMDb page. So I got the Wikipedia page up at the moment on my phone, so I can look it up real fast. Sorry for being a little lazy, but hey, what can I say? I watched the movie days ago, so I kind of forgot their names real quick. Sorry, but shit happens apparently. So anyway, the movie basically starts with Kristen actually having a nightmare sequence, and of course she's admitted to the same hospital where we see Lawrence Fishburne is actually one of the orderlies. Well, there's a bit of a joke he and Gordon actually say, and to be fair, I've seen Crick Wilson in another movie, another horror film called Body Double, which is actually not a bad movie, but thanks to that movie, I can't never listen to the song Relax ever again due to one pornographic sequence. Yeah, fuck. Anyways, there is like a slight joke they actually say where Gordon says, "Really? I thought everybody was dying because of the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll." And you hear Lawrence Fishburne say, "No, that's what's keeping people alive." And well, it is the 1980s, so he's kind of right about that one. Anyway, Kristen actually goes off her rocker and actually almost stabs some of the orderlies until Nancy comes in to sing the Freddy rhyme with her to calm her down, and it works. So she and there's a kind of a romance between her and Dr. Gordon. And Gordon is basically showing Nancy to all the around, and so is Lawrence Fishburne. She's introduced all the characters, and they all have psychological problems, mainly due to Freddy Krueger. And it gets really bad, like really, really bad. Like they all now he thinks scientifically they're all manifestations of some type of unknown element of some kind, but Nancy will later find out that it's actually Freddy Krueger. For example, like there's this kid called Will who's the puppet. There's the puppeteer guy, this puppeteer kid, who basically makes little puppets where Freddy actually possesses one of them, turns into Freddy, and cuts the guy, and has a dream sequence where he's actually take control of the character as a puppet. It's a weird sequence. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weird, especially the part where he faces right through the door. It's like, how is that a dream? I mean, dude, wouldn't it make more sense for you to be like, I can't stop. Wait, I can't go through this door. I mean, even though this is a dream sequence, this is kind of stupid. Go through the door. Go through the door. Oof. Oof. I can't go through the door, stupid. Ugh. Ugh, shit. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just try something here. Where'd this giant knife come from? Ow. Ow. Other way, other way, jackass. Thank you. Honestly, you're telling me to do it right, you dick. And he falls off the tallest part of the building. I wonder how many. Seriously, I wonder if there's actually any outtakes about that. Now that I just did that little joke. Anyway, let's see. Kristen almost gets killed by Freddy Krueger, but then we get to see something very unique. Kristen actually yells for Nancy, and Nancy wakes up and then falls back to sleep, only to actually be dragged into the dream world with her, as Freddy's about to kill her. While Nancy saves her, it's a unique experience. They both wake up eventually, and yeah, apparently Nancy was dragged into the dream world because of Kristen. Yeah. Christian has the unique ability to actually bring people into their dreams. It happened a long time ago with her father, so Nancy thinks she could do the same thing with all the other all the others. And then we get well, we get more like a group sessions, of course, that are going nowhere. And then we get Jennifer, who has by far the most iconic death of the film, which is she's trying to stay up watching TV. The TV's going out of the fritz. There's actually a movie critic cameo in it, which only agreed to do the movie only to have a stupid part in the movie. He didn't like the film, but he agreed to do it regardless, though, and he said he actually had fun doing the part. So, but yeah. Anyway, she tries to work the TV, and the TV grows arms, and Freddy's head pops up. Come on, Jennifer, this is your biggest start. Look at the prime time, bitch. Fun fact. That whole thing was ad libbed. Yeah. The most famous iconic line that Freddy said, welcome to primetime, bitch. Robert England literally just ad libbed that on the spot. Good for you, Mr. England. Good for you. Yeah, so she gets killed, another funeral happens, and Dr. Gordon is having just a really hard time trying his best trying to figure out what is wrong with these people. And then a nun comes to him and tries talking to him. Her name is Mary, Sister Mary, and she tells him that there's a great evil that's not laid to rest that is doing all this harm, and he must actually find a way to stop it. Nancy comes over and is a little confused of who he's talking to. When Gordon turns around, the nun is gone. Where'd she go? The fuck? So they decide to actually So Gordon decides to actually get do another group sessions with the kids, unauthorized, but to actually tell them what's really going on with Freddy Krueger. Nancy tells them everything about what really had happened. It turns out that these kids are the last surviving members of the parents who had murdered Freddy Krueger many years ago. So these are the last original surviving kids of Elm Street. Fucking amazing on that one. So at this point, they decided to do an experiment where they would all fall asleep together. And unbeknownst to them, it actually did actually happen. And the one death kid named Joey actually winds up getting hot with has a has a hot little sequence with the nurse, which is borderline illegal because of the fact he's underage. But yeah. So it turns out they're all in the dream world, and they all have and like Christian, they all have unique abilities in the dream world. So that is until we find out what happens with Joey. Like Freddy actually tongue ties him up and literally like starts to torture him. And then all the kids wake up. Then they all wake up. The other doctor that's actually there, who's kind of a bitch, to be honest, and honestly would have actually helped if Freddy Krueger probably killed her off at some point. But no, they never do. They never even addressed it either. So anyway, Joey is actually stuck in the dream world, and they have to try to get him out. And it's going to get worse because he's going to be tortured by Freddy, and now Christian throws a shit fit and she's tossed in the choir room, while Nancy and Gordon are both kicked off the premises. Gordon actually meets the nun again, and she basically tells him something we never knew about Freddy. This one section of the hospital wing that nobody knew, that he wasn't allowed to go into, he's now in there, and she tells him that there was a woman who was kept in here during the holiday season, and she had been gang raped for days, and she bore a child afterwards. Her name was Amanda Kruger, and Gordon got then puts two and two together. Freddy, Freddy is the bastard child of 1,000 maniacs. Pretty fucked up, but yeah. So basically, Sister Mary tells him exactly what needs to be done. He needs to actually has his final remains actually blessed and actually put to rest this time around. So yeah, he tells Nancy. Nancy actually goes finds their father. They actually go find their father. Nancy, they get a call from the hospital from one of the from one of the kids. What happened with Christian? And so Gordon decides they need to split up. Nancy's going to go back into actually to the hospital to help the kids out, while Gordon, along with Nancy's father, are going to put Freddy's remains to rest. And so they do. They go off. They go back to the dream world. They meet up with Christian, and they get separated thanks to Freddy Krueger at some point. I do have to mention there's a girl named Taryn, played by Jennifer Rubin. And here's the thing. Um, her character. How do I put this? Her character actually became a massive fan favorite for a variety of reasons. Most to do with the fact that her character was a drug addict and somewhat suicidal, but she was trying to remain as strong as possible. But ironically, her character became such a big fan favorite over time that is that so much so that when she gets killed off, the producer's like, "Wow, we fucked up on this one. We should have kept her alive." So yeah, and the actress actually goes to like conventions and shit to actually promote her character, and her character is actually the face of certain of certain organizations to actually help prevent suicide awareness too and drug awareness. Who would have figured that? Seriously. And was Freddy? Well, to be fair, she does fight Freddy, puts up a decent fight, but he injects her with a shitload of drugs from his hands, which, in my opinion, was probably the worst way to kill a character off. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Seriously? This character actually deserved more. But no, you just, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? There's also a geeky Dungeons and Dragons guy, a kid who actually was in a wheelchair the whole time, but he can walk in the dream world, and he uses magic abilities on Freddy, but it doesn't work because sorry, you little shit, I don't believe in fairy tales. Freddy, you're a fucking dick. So yeah, eventually Kincaid, the badass Kincaid, actually meets up with Christian and Nancy. They actually do find Joey, and then Nancy says by far the stupidest thing to say in this situation. Okay, look, here's the thing. Joey is literally spread eagle over a pit, being tied up, being hauled over a pit, and Freddy's right next to him, and she yells out, "Go, Krueger!" You stupid bitch! Seriously? What's Freddy do? Your wish is my command. And Joey almost falls into the pit. Like Nancy grabs him, and then Kincaid actually winds up helping her getting him out. So, basically, Kristen tries to fight Freddy, but he's just too strong. Kincaid joins in. Freddy beats the shit out of both of them because he's too damn strong. How? He rips his shirt open and actually reveals that there's faces coming out of it, and it's all the souls of the people he's actually killed over the years. Which wasn't actually in the original movie. All he did in the original movie was he lifts his shirt, looks like a normal body, cuts it open, there's maggots coming out. Continuity wise, people, hello, continuity, whatever. It's a slasher film. Not much continuity's actually existed in these fucking movies. So anyway, Freddy notices there's something wrong in the real world, so he actually leaves the dream world. What's happening in the real world? Gordon and Mr. Thompson actually find Freddy's remains. They dig a hole to actually exercise the remains. But Freddy control actually possesses his skeleton and actually goes after both of them, killing Thompson in the process and knocking out Gordon and tossing dirt on him. And he's outside the pit and he goes, goes back to a little pile of bones. Uh, Freddy, you knocked the guy out. That's not going to work. I mean, you just knocked him out. That means it's only temporarily knocked out. So it means, and your bones are right next to the pit. Wouldn't it have been more smarter for you just like, whoa, I'm too close to the pit. I'm just gonna go for a little stroll. Okay, I'm like 100 yards away from it. Okay, idiot. So, okay, now Freddy actually continues to attack the kids inside of a mirror room, and he actually sucks everybody into mirrors. And then Joey, who's been mute the whole time around in the movie, actually screams his lungs out, actually breaking all the mirrors, freeing them all. And they think that they beat Freddy. Nope. For some reason, Mr. Thompson comes in to actually to tell Nancy it's all over, only to be tricked into saying, "Nope, it was Freddy," and he stabs Nancy to death. So, yep, he kills off Nancy. However, not officially killing her off yet, because Christian actually tries to fight off Kruger again, and only this time, like I said, Kruger's too strong. But Nancy screams in the dream world, actually wake up Gordon, and he drags his body out of the freaking pit and tosses the bones into it. Fucking idiot Freddy Krueger is. So what does he do? He actually takes out holy water and he puts a cross on it, though. But before this actually happens, Freddy was about to kill Christian until Nancy actually, with her last ounce of strength, actually grabs Freddy's hand and stabs him with his own glove, actually weakening him because it's his own fucking weapon, amongst all things. And so, as Gordon is actually exercising the remains, he tosses the holy water into that of a cross, which actually hurts Freddy in the dream world, and puts a cross on top of Freddy's head to fully excise his remains, which actually works. Now his soul is gone. Now now he's out. They finally beat him again. They fully defeat him. The only problem is Nancy didn't survive, so both her and her father are both dead, as well as the as well as Turin and the geeky kid. So yeah, they saved two kids at the expense of four people. God damn it. Great rescue effort, by the way. Yeah, great rescue effort. So at the funeral, everybody mourns at the loss of these people who they cared for. And at the funeral, Gordon actually sees the nun and he wants to try to talk to her again, but she passes by a grave and disappears. But when he goes to the grave, he notices something that actually that horrifies him, and this kind of explains a lot. It's the grave of Amanda Kruger, but she was actually a Catholic nun, and her Catholic nun name was Mary. So the nun in the movie was Freddy's mother the entire time. It's like that's how you knew how to beat him. You were his mother. Is it just me, or is Freddy's mother more responsible than Jason Voorhees' mother? That's pretty messed up. Anyway, the movie ends on an ambiguous ending with with a little with a popsicle house that Christian had made earlier in the movie, which actually happens to be Freddy's house, which has to be the nightmare house, and it just as Gordon's sleeping, the window light in the bedroom just glows, and the movie ends right there on the spot, thus ending the film. And that was A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors, part of the Dream Trilogy. And I can kind of see why it's a huge fan favorite. I mean, the effects are actually pretty wild in this movie, and there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in this film. But but some of the characters you don't want to see get killed off actually get killed off, and the ones you do want to see get killed off don't get killed off. It's a fucking mess. Honestly, it would have made more sense if they actually had more people get killed off in the movie. Most of the people we want to see get killed off, but no. But hey, that's just my biggest complaint in this movie. If I had my way of actually making the movie, I would have had the asshole doctor get killed off. This one orderly who was hitting on Taryn the entire time, get killed off too. But hey, that's just my opinion. That's how I would have made the movie. I would have made sure that Terrence survived and actually became a better person and actually left Springwood afterwards. So, yeah. So you think that would be the end of the franchise? I just said this was the start of a trilogy of films called the Dream Trilogy. The next film, it's also semi fan favorite and also continues on the franchise a bit more. Oh boy. Tune in tomorrow. We'll take a look at The Dream Master, where Freddy comes back yet again. Seriously, you can't kill this guy off, can you? Oh wait, there actually are ways to kill him. They just don't do it right in the movies. Well, see you tomorrow. Whoa! Hold on a second. There's something I kind of forgot to mention. In the third film, they actually had a drug called Hypnosil, which Nancy actually was prescribed Hypnosil, but kind of forgot to mention it. But the thing is, what does Hypnosil do? It is a dream suppressant. Yeah. And a few things I kind of forgot to mention was like, okay, Nancy was actually taking it due to Gordon's disapproval. However, later on, halfway through the film, like Nancy, Gordon is convinced that yes, there is something going on with the kids with their dreams, and he feels that if they suppress the dreams, they could actually get through to the kids better. So he wants to prescribe Hypnosil for all the kids, due to the other doctor's dismay. But eventually, they don't actually give the kids Hypnosil because both Nancy and Gordon get kicked off the team eventually, which really does suck. However, the thing is, in Freddy versus Jason, the institute the movie takes place in is actually also in Freddy versus Jason, where they kept the other main characters, and they were giving everybody there Hypnosil. Okay, that's kind of interesting and also kind of messed up. But the messed up part is they've been treating everybody as a quarantine thing. I don't know, like say like Freddy Krueger was actually a main virus and they were quarantining everybody who was exposed to him. Wow. And here's the thing. This movie was made in like well, what year was it? No, it doesn't actually say. It's just oh wait, here it is. 1987. Okay, the movie was made in 1987 and okay, the movie supposedly takes place in that time period, but here's the messed up part. In 2003, where Freddy vs. Jason took place in, Hypnosil, even to this day, was never approved by the FDA. But yet but yet you can actually but you can be prescribed it by a doctor. So under special circumstances, it can be prescribed. And I don't know how, but they had tons of it in the Institute for Freddy vs. Jason, which is something they kind of needed for this movie. Yeah, way too late on that account. Oh, if you haven't noticed, like I shaved real quick. Like, yeah, that's because like I actually did this. Yeah, this little thing here with this extra video part. Yeah, it's the following day where I did this video. Okay, so I actually did the video previously, like the other day, like yesterday, and today yeah. So don't mind it too much. Anyway, tomorrow I will do the fourth film, and then I will do the fifth film the day after that. Yeah, the Dream Trilogy is on. I'll see you tomorrow.